What up, YouTube? It's Misery Hates Company. We are here with finally a good, at least in my opinion, good PvE raid build for the monk. I've been trying really hard to get all the essences for the monk, and I've gotten all the ones that I want for this build. I did cover a video the other day covering the voice crack and all, the two different heads that I was looking at. So yeah, let's get straight to it. The two head pieces is in that video. I did a whole video comparing the damage of these two, and spoiler, the Empathy's Blessing did more damage overall. So we finally have everything that we need in order to make this build work. So I'm going to show the damage first, and then I'll break down the build. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So we got all the damage here. So when I did this previously, I think I got like 26 mil damage. Like, it wasn't, admittedly, it wasn't good. I didn't feel proud of myself for doing it. So let's see how much damage we get now. I'm going to go for 30 seconds so that way it's consistent with my other videos, and then I will pause it to see just how much damage we do. Looks like we should be able to get above 23. I don't know if I'll get above 26 though, or whatever I was at. I'm at 25, 27, pause, boop. All right, so 28 mil damage, not bad. That is more than what I was doing previously, again, for this monk build. So it does show that the offhand that I was waiting for, which is this one, the Trumming Ferocity, Trumming Ferocity, which is within Inner Sanctuary, you and your allies deal 15% more damage, which checks out because it's giving you flat damage for everything. Primary attack, skills, and everything else. So again, while this damage might not be good for you in terms of your builds, keep in mind what I'm at in terms of everything, and I'll show you the exact build that I'm using, but this is good for me on my build for the monk. So you can see that I'm at combat rating 33,381, 3,501 resonance. My secondary stats are trash. My armor is below 2k, which is not good. But yeah, so if you want to see the whole build that I'm utilizing, the head is Empathy's Blessing, which is Inner Sanctuary is now Blessed Sanctuary, increasing all damage done by you and your allies within this within the circle. You can change it to the other one, one of the newer heads that does critical damage while you're moving, and that one's also good. But this one for fights where you're standing still for longer, it does do more damage. I did test that, and I have a video covering that. And then we're using Falcon's Dive, which is Inner Sanctuary's range is increased, which again will help with the lack of mobility that you have within the circle. Feline Defiance is Mystic Strike now also increases your primary attack speed by 30% for 6.4 seconds, which is perfect. And then Companion's Melody, which is increasing the duration of Mystic Allies. As you can see, most of the build is just powering up Mystic Allies and your Inner Sanctuary. So main hand number 1 is Mystic Allies now summons 2 Flaming Spirits to fight by your side. Offhand is the one that I just mentioned, which is within Inner Sanctuary, you and your allies deal 15.2% more damage. Main hand number 2 is Mystic Allies cooldown decreased. And then finally, last but not least, Inner Sanctuary duration increased. Now, after covering that, if you're curious about the sec gear that I'm using, I am using a 4-piece Grace of the Flagellant for the continual damage and persistent ground damage. And then I'm also using a 4-piece Angments. Again, this is not necessarily a good build for PvP at all, but it is a really good build for PvE when you're not necessarily caring how much damage you're going to be taking. You're not buffing your teammates outside of a little bit of Inner Sanctuary, but overall, you're really min-maxing your damage on a single target. IE for raids. Paragon tree is pretty straightforward. I'm using Weaver, so we covered sets, skills, because every once in a while, even though I've covered all the skills that I'm covering, this is what I'm using. Mystic Allies, Mystic Strike, Inner Sanctuary. Breath of Heaven is just an empty slot. You could change this for anything. In fact, realistically, probably Wave Strike would be better. It'd give you a little bit more damage if I were to guess. I had this on there when I was testing out Vithus because it's a buff, and that way I can keep my Vithus going for longer. But I don't have Vithus, so realistically, I probably should change that to Wave Strike. But if you want a little bit more healing, keep Breath of Heaven. And of course, I'm using Fist of Thunder. So one thing I do want to look at though, after like even straight here on the spot making this video, is the shoulders, because I thought I was using a different one there. Maybe I'm not. Maybe that was it. Yeah, no, that was right. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is the build that I'm rocking. This is the one that I at least prefer the most out of all the single target PvE builds that I've tried for the monk. I almost said for the dungeon. Am I drunk? I might be. I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think about this build in the comment section below. And until next time, I hope to see you in a video soon.